involved the Broncos' clock management. Nathaniel Hackett letting all the time tick off, and then kicking a 64-yard field goal. Russell Wilson was asked about it yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
I was at the line of scrimmage ready to go for it, too. You know, I was calling a play, and we were ready to go. But, you know, that's what we decided, and we went with it, you know. And we missed by, I don't know, yard maybe, maybe half a yard, so it was close.
Uh-oh. So Russell always says the right thing, to his everlasting credit, in my opinion. Diana's calling a timeout. Peyton Manning was calling a timeout. D. Wood, down deep inside, is Russell furious?
Russell's too nice.
He is.
What should he say?
He's very nice.
I can't even. This is the Disney Channel. I can't even say it right now. like you're the Denver Broncos. You traded for me, gave up assets, paid me $250 million, and you're gonna tell me, oh, we're gonna let a kicker kick a 64-yard field goal instead of putting the ball in my hands at the quarterback position? That's disrespectful, Nico. That's disrespectful. To have a kicker kicking a 64, that's the best you can do. Yeah. Denver Broncos, to have your kicker kick a 64-yard field goal in that situation. Come on, man. Like I said, Russell's too nice.
That situation, you can go through every single thing in practice, and that situation comes up, and you mess it up that bad. Everyone's sitting at home. What are you doing? Whoa. 40 seconds. Tick tick. If Russell should have said, timeout, we're going to talk this over.
Yeah.
Timeout, we're going to talk this over. I mean, you look at Peyton Manning, the first thing he says, take a timeout. All right, you got time, take a timeout. No, they don't do that. So the head coach, I think he looks foolish in this situation. He looks like he doesn't know the situation. And
he's ill-prepared.
What do we see from coaches that are the gurus, that are the offensive gurus, when they're in those moments, the heat of the moment, when the game is on the line, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
Remember 2 years ago in the NFC Championship game when Aaron Rodgers, they kicked the field goal and they never got the ball back?
Should have went for it.
You know who was on the coaching staff of that Green Bay Packers team? Nathaniel Hackett. So he, of all people, should absolutely remember that.
Bad.
Diana, as you talk to people around the league this week about the way that game ended, what did you hear?
Yeah, before I begin, I have no relation to Nathaniel Hackett. Because I'm going to get scorched here, Damian. I get the fists up. Be ready here. All right, so after a big decision like that, I love getting just feedback from players and coaches around the league and just getting a feel, like, you watched the game, what do you think? I didn't talk to anyone on the Broncos, but I did talk to other people. And there was an argument made by a lot of people that, look, you weigh the probability of the situation and you go to the numbers, and usually what happens here, people that are obsessed with the numbers will make an argument. If they went for it, they'll say they should have kicked. If they made it, then they said that's what the numbers said. Whenever it just doesn't work out, the situation doesn't work out, is when everyone reacts like this. And look, he fell on the sword. I think we could all agree he would do it over again. But they made that decision and they stuck with it. So we're all losing our minds on it. But there are others in the league that do this all the time and are a lot smarter than me that believe that, look, they can see what happened. Bark, go.
Let's go to the Geek Squad then if we want to be about the analytics. The analytics is they had a 53% chance to win the game or to convert 4th and 5.
Right.
They had a 4% chance to kick a 64-yard field goal. So that's the analytics there. Secondly, listen, if you don't know history, it's doomed to repeat itself.
Right.
And the history and the narrative around Russell Wilson is that he alienates himself from his teammates. So I had Chad Brown on yesterday on my show, and he told me that Russell Wilson has his own office in the building, right? That he also has like his own nutritionist quarterback coach. That is a bad environment, bad recipe for being able to try and ingratiate yourself with your teammates. And then you talk about, if you don't know your history. Last year, the Green Bay Packers came out and got the brakes beat off of them. Do you know that in training camp, the Denver Broncos did not have one live drill? So then when you don't have one live drill and people don't play in preseason, what do you think a running back's going to do with a fumbling history? He's going to fumble. So this goes back on with Nathaniel Hackett, the fact that he is ill-prepared and don't know how to be able to lead his team. He's early in this process. It can be turned around, but these things are disturbing to me.
Go for it or kick the field. He still wasted so much time.
He left
after,
everything on that kick.
after the fact, he called 3 timeouts with like 10 seconds. Yeah. It's like, yo, that's it. It's
Look,
like, what are you
wrap.
calling
In the entire history of
Wrap it up,
professional football, which is like 103 years.
And then the elbow pad. Jameis Winston is going, to collect names and be comeback player of the year.
All right, so he likes the Saints a lot. And here's further fuel. The Bucs may very well lose again because look at their injury report. It's like a Pro Bowl roster. Brady is on there with just a rest designation, but 5 wideouts are on the list. 3 of them didn't practice, both starting tackles. All right, Diana, the injury report in Tampa, that first came out. I saw Shefty tweeted that yesterday. Makes one a little bit nervous. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it does. That came from Wednesday, though, so that's the good news, right? We still got a few days left, but the Chris Godwin one is the one that really, that one stands out just because he just got back and now he's dealing with this hamstring injury. And we'll see if the Bucs are willing to take that risk and roll the die and throw him back out there. But I know they were really happy with his rehab and how he returned off that ACL, but obviously a hamstring injury this early in the season could be something that could be nagging all year long. So the Julio Jones one, we talked about this in the offseason. Julio's going to be on this injury report every week. I can guarantee that. And it's just going to be, we're just going to see what happens on Sundays if he's going to be willing to go. This is the risk you take. He's an incredible player, but he comes with injury. So that's on the Bucs side of it, Mike.
Yeah.
The Saints side of it, you got Jameis Winston. Remember, he went in the blue tent on Sunday dealing with some back injury, and he was really sore, so he was very limited on Wednesday. I was told he's expected to go on Sunday against the Bucs, but obviously he's coming off a gigantic injury as well, so that soreness for a lot of players was really felt this past week.
All right, so the critical matchup. We got both teams coming in a little banged up, and the Saints have their number. We've talked about it repeatedly. The one game Tampa won in there, though, was the important one because it was the playoff game. Nick, Saints going to continue to dominate this matchup?
It's in the dome, too.
Yes.
That's going to be tough. But I just think that Tampa and some of the question marks with the Saints, their quarterback's banged up. I know Tampa's banged up, too. But you look at the head coach. They don't have the head coach anymore. Sean Payton's gone. They got a new coach. So I'm going with Tampa on this one.
You like the Bucs?
I like the Bucs. I like the Bucs.
The division still runs through them. Bart looks skeptical.
He does.
How do you look?
I got the Saints. I think the Saints defensively matches up perfectly with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't even think, just from an identity standpoint, I don't think the Bucs, they're not even the same team that they were last year. You go from, what is it, no risk it, no biscuit with Bruce Arians. Now with Todd Bowles not going to be having the offense slinging the ball all over the field. He wants to play a more traditional type of game, run and
Is that good or bad?
I think initially it's probably bad because the offensive line is still trying to find its way. I don't know if they'll be able to run the ball like that against this New Orleans Saints defense. Right. So I'm giving the edge to the Saints.
Well, you got the entire interior of Tom's offensive line we were talking about. Now both tackles are on the injury report. The Saints rushed the heck out of him anyway. Is Brady in trouble on Sunday?
He's in trouble, but Todd Bowles is going with the right plan, right? Because if you look at what happened to the Saints last week, Cordell Patterson ran the ball up and down their throat, and they had to really get hold of the game late in the season. But, the same thing, Nico, that you said about, the Saints, I can say about the Bucs because Todd Bowles is a new coach as well. He's the guy who was on staff. Here's the issue, right? They have bad matchups. And what we don't really talk about is how dominant Lattimore has always been traditionally against Mike Evans. So now when you don't have Chris Godwin, that allows you to be able to really, add another man to the box to make them one-dimensional.
Are they going to beat Tom Brady up? He was talking about all the lumps and bumps and bruises on his podcast after week 1. What's he going to look like after week 2?
Well, he's going to be in the wax like Triple X. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be all beat up. And the problem is a lot of these guys are sore a lot more because they don't hit in training camp. So this is the first time that they've been knocked to the ground. So now they're oversensitive. It's going to take about 3 or 4 weeks for everybody to get used to the physicality. Just like you got to get your pads set, you also got to get your body set for taking a beating for 17
Brady
weeks.
going to get beat up this week?
Yeah, he's going to get knocked around a little bit. He's 45 years old. If you push a 45-year-old, they just fall right over. So, yeah, of course, I think he's going to get beat up. But he's Tom Brady. He deals with it. He knows how to recover. He's got the pliability. He's got TB12. He's got all that stuff. So, again, It's just hard for me to look at the track record. I know the Saints have won a lot, but you can't just say they're just going to keep beating Tom, keep beating Tom, keep beating Tom. I'm just going with
Well,
percentages.
Tom just
here.
keeps beating everybody else, so
That's
why
what I'm
can't it
saying.
happen
So
to
he's
him?
going to figure it out. He's going to figure it out.
Look at the number at the bottom of your screen. Our analytics give the Buccaneers a 70% chance
Analytics.
to win this game
Wow.
on the road. With that injury report, that would be quite a statement for Brady's Bucks to win this game on the road against their primary rival in the division this early on. We'll see Sunday. In the meantime, we're going to Dallas next. The Cowboys' star has fallen with Dak's injury.